Hi guys, so this is the video for the jump cycle. I'll start with exporting my reference as an image sequence. So I have an existing project here and it's called PAU references. This is Premiere Pro, so if you want to use whatever software you want to use, just import your reference into the scene, and I'll be sharing the reference video with us so you can download that. And the only thing I'm doing here is just exporting my video into I already have it exported, but I'm just going to show the process again. So this is my video. I'll drag and drop into my scene, and that should pop up this particular video. So for this, I want to start around here, so I'm going to do this. So here, so this is the length at which I want to animate from here to this, right? So that's it. I mark it out from the in and out, and then I'll export. Click on export. I'll go to my project. So this is where I have my video, all of my references, and it's here. So I'm going to just doing this again for us to see. So once I have that, I'll go to format, and then I'll click on the format. I'll change it to JPEG. So JPEG is an image format, so I'll pick that. Check my video. I have it at 24 frames per second. Well, it does not matter for this particular shot, but you always want to check your video frame rate should be exporting at 24 frames per second. Sometimes it's usually different. You just click down and you change that, but for this particular reference, it's the video is right. So I have this, and then I'll pick my location. So I have my location set, and the next thing I want to do is click on export. So I'll just bring this up so you see what is happening when I click on export. So I'll click on exports, and then I'll pull this up. So it exports in. There's a mistake here. I was supposed to change the name. So since it's a sequence, I don't want it to have a very long name. For this particular one, it's using this is very long, so I'll just call it jump. Yeah. So I'll export again, and now I have jump 00 to 065. So it's 65 frames right now. So I'm done with this particular project, so I can just close that software and go back to Maya, right? I'll just close this down, then come back to Maya, right? So in Maya, always remember, before starting out any project, what is your current project? So you want to always set project to your project folder. So I have my project folder set to PAU, so I don't have to worry about that. And this is the project I'm working on currently, but just for me to carry you along, I'm just going to click on open, and search for my project. So because I have this project set, it takes me directly to my project folder, and I can just pick. I have this as jump animation. This is where my project is, and I'll open it, right? So I'll wait for that to come up. So it's loading up. Just give it some time. All right, I think we have the project open now. Yeah, so we have this. I'm going to take everything out so we work from the start. So I'm using the animation workspace, and I'll split my screen so I can have my camera on this particular screen. Then I'll shrink this. I have my reference camera, but I'm also still going to delete that. I'll delete everything I don't need in the scene, so we can work. So I'm just taking out everything that is not relevant in this particular scene. All right, so moving on. The first thing I'll do is create my reference camera. So I like to do that around here. I'll go to panel. I have just my camera, right? Go to create a new camera. Call that camera reference or ref, and now I have camera reference. I have my camera, my main camera, and reference. So I'll click on this, so it brings this up, right? So I'll set it out the same way I have my camera set. Bring up my resolution gate by clicking on this particular icon. It brings up the resolution gate, right? The next thing I want to do is bring up my reference. So I'll click on show. Right now, because this was my camera panel, I had only the polygon showing. But right now, since I want to pull out my I want to put my reference camera. This is my reference camera right now. I'll turn on image plane so I can see the image that I'm going to apply. So I'll go to view, image plane, import image, and then where did I save my reference? It's in reference, animation, jump. So I'll pick the first. Remember, we had the sequence, and these are the sequence, but you're not picking everything. You can't even pick everything, but you can pick the first. The first is it's an image sequence, so you want to pick the first sequence, and this sequence is starting from jump 0 0. So take notes, you're picking the first sequence, and if your sequence is not lined up the right way, please check very well to make sure that it's starting from the first number to the last number, not the last to the first. So pick the first, open it. So I have that in my scene right now. I'm just going to turn this off. So I have this right now, and the image is a little bit dark, so I like to put this to on tone so it has a little bit of exposure. And the next thing I'll do is I'll click on my panel, and then there's tear off and then tear off copy. I want to tear off this particular camera from this panel, but I don't want to tear it off entirely, just a copy of it so I can have it as my reference, and then I'll still have my camera in that particular panel. So I'll click on tear off copy, and when I do that, that copy comes out. So I still have this to get. The next thing I'll do is I'll change this back to my camera and then take it back to what it was before, bring up the polygon and then take off the image plane, right? So I have this as my camera, this as my reference, and my viewport is here, right? So I'll just walk around, look for a good space to keep that, and then the next thing is to proceed working, right? So from yesterday I created this particular polygon, and it's supposed to be this chair in the scene, just a placeholder for the chair. But right now I'm just going to delete the animation I have on the character, so I start all over again. Or better still, since we have that, we know how we got here, so we can just proceed, right? But if you notice, my reference is not moving, right? I was supposed to do something, right? So I'll just bring this back up, select the image, and then when you select, you will notice that it's selected here because it's camera. I'll go to my attribute editor. Right now I don't have it here, so I'm just going to pick it here. That's not it. Yeah, so this is my attribute editor. This particular icon, in case you can't find it, it's this icon, and I'll just lock it somewhere here so I don't have to look for it again. Sometimes this can prove to be stubborn. Nope. Nope. Yep, like that. Take this out. Take this out. So this is what I want. Channel box attribute editor. So I'll lock back my camera, my workspace, and when I click on this, I have this attribute editor popped up, and I'll scroll down, and then there's use image sequence just below your file for this particular image. So use image sequence, click on the box, and you have your video playing, right? So once that is done, you can proceed. So I'll bring this here. I'll retime my animation because I shortened the video from yesterday. Yesterday we had 130 frames, but now we have 65 frames. So I'm just going to bring this. So I'm moving the frames to match this particular frame right now, and how I did that was, how you move your frames is, I selected everything, hold down shift button, and then drag over, and then pick this particular one and move. And you can easily do that from your outliner too, from your graph editor, just move. But I prefer doing it from here because it looks better and it's not as hard as doing it from the graph editor, right? So I'll just match that animation. When it's in the air is on frame 37, so I'll bring that to 37, up, air, down, right, touch. and the whole frame is 65, so I'll shorten this to 65. All right, so remember I said we are blocking out right now. We've done the layouts and this is unstepped. So before starting your animation, you want to go to setup, you want to go to animation, you want to go to tangents right here, switch. For yours it's going to be here, it's going to be this way. So you want to change from this to linear and out to stepped, then you save before starting out your animation, even for the layout, because if you don't do that, you still have your graph editor in spline this way. So if I select this and I click on auto, this is spline auto tangents, you have yours looking like this. And if you have this, you're going to have the animation going this way, you get, and this is not what we want right now. We want the animation to go from pose to pose, so that's why we are using the stepped. So just going to select all of that and change it back to stepped and linear, stepped and linear. And right now, pose, 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 pose. Right. No. I'll start blocking out my animation right now. So while I'm blocking this animation, I'm going to fasten the pace of the video so you don't get bored out. Right. So still looking at balance. You want to pay attention to balance. Don't just block out your character doing standing off, right? So please pay attention to balance, and remember the reference is there to guide you. You don't necessarily have to block out every single thing the same way. Follow the principles to know what you should do, right? So I'm also looking at my camera. So right now I'm just blocking, so I won't pay so much attention to details right now, right? So select all, take this out, squash, block that out, select this, no? So there's something I usually do if I keep clicking on the polygon and I don't want to click on the polygon. Sometimes I can use, for the character, there's usually this particular layer to click on. When you turn this to R, it won't allow you to click on the polygon like so. So sometimes you want to click on the curve and then you mistakenly click on this polygon. It's really frustrating, so you want to turn that off. So with this you can't click, but for this particular polygon we don't have a layer for it. You can choose to create a layer for it, put it in a layer, and well, just it's like easy. Just click on the objects, do this, give it a name, box, enter. You can give it a color if you want, save, and then this I can click. So it's really frustrating sometimes. All right, so on frame 21 is squashing, so I want to have him do this particular lip. uh, so patience will do it. Don't have to rush. Also pay attention to the shoulder. uh, Trying to avoid swinging. Don't have it doing the same thing. I'm also looking at my camera. I want to have a very good silhouette where my action is readable and not just faint. But I'm still not paying so much attention to details for the character right now. We have this character breaking right here. I don't want to do that, so don't break your rig. Try as much as possible. Oh, that is happening, so don't push so hard that you get the rig breaking. So mm, oh, no, you can leave it at that. Uh, so let's just work with this for now. Um, use Remember I told us about switching from the world to the object to help. So for now, let's just have him this way. So we have this, and then so in the air, I'll block out this stretch on frame. On frame 31. I think my Maya has. All right, so on frame, let's see, stretch. On frame 31, I'm going to apply a key, then have him stretch, and please don't rotate his hands this way. Don't do this. He's also human right now. He's your your character, so you don't want to have his hands twisting, because uh, you don't want to encounter such problems. So bring the hands back the same way you took it to the front, and pay attention to the rotation. And so you don't want to have, if you can't see your rig, if you can't see your control, you can go to wireframe, then back to um, shaded, so you can see that particular curve or control you are looking for. So trying so hard to Have this. Play around with your controls. He has one of his leg lifted up, so I want to have him stretching. Not don't stretch this way. You can use this, give this, then go to objects. You always want to control the leg with the leg control. Don't do this, and don't don't do this. You don't want to have this. This is the leg control, so you don't want to have the leg leaving that control. You get, so the leg is, this is supposed to control the leg, not the waist controlling the leg. So every time you have your leg moving, you want to have that control going with the leg, right? So um still looking at balance right now. It's supposed to be weight on this leg. So back, forward, back, forward, back, forward. We want to go around to see what you are doing wrong, what you should do right. So boom, boom, right. So remember, your reference is there to guide you. Your reference is there to guide you. Your reference is not your enemy, it's your friend. So I'm trying to avoid swinging. And right now I'm not paying so much attention on the fingers. Still going to come to that. But for now, let's just focus on the body. So, boom, boom. Okay, and then on frame 38 is in the air. Well, this pose I'll have to correct. And his body. So I want to pay attention to overlapping action, follow through. You can try some references yourself. If you were the one jumping, how would you be in the air? Go through other references. If this one is confusing and not so detailed, you want to try more references and see what the character that is jumping should be focused on the moment. You can have currently I'm not so focused on what the character should be doing and not doing, just trying to block out. Poses. So having two, and here you can see that I'm not really matching my reference. I'm just using it as a guide, not that I'm picking everything one to one. And here we have him touching the ground for the first time. So there's going to be obviously so much weight on his legs. It almost has him falling down, trying to break every symmetry. So you see that when I'm working with the chest, I like to select both curves for the chest. So break symmetry, break symmetry. Where is the weight right now? Is it on the right leg, the left leg? So you really want to tell your audience where those things are. So it's just touching the ground, not so much. So that's another pose. Remember, this is here, we're just animating the character. So there's a squash, boom, boom, squash. I'm going to bring that here. There's a squash, squashes to the ground, boom, with the weights forward. So all of these are poses, right? And they have to be good. They have to be right. You have to be doing it the right way. So I'm just exaggerating a little. I know it didn't go that low. Put the hands in front right now. For some rigs, you can mirror um, poses from your left hand to the right. For this, I don't think that is possible. Not tried it though. I'm just not tried it. Don't think it's going to work. So let's see. So so and it comes back up. So on frame 55, I'm just going to key that, and then I'll copy the frame from 45 by going to right click, copy, come to 55 and paste. So I have this pose here. So I can just correct that standing. So you can copy poses across frames, and there's a shortcut for it too. There's a shortcut to copy poses. I think I mentioned it during the bouncing ball. So you see me playing with the shoulders, the hands, not just one control. I'm trying to see that everything is, I'm touching everything, not just okay. So it's not perfect yet, but these are poses. So we're working in stepped mode, and it's helping us to pay attention to just our poses and not the animation right now. You don't have to pay so much attention on the animation right now. Just focus on the poses to get poses right. So uh, so check that. Right, so now start, we have then settle. It settles to this pose. So select key, and then let me see, did the leg move? No. So going to settle him into this pose. Like I said, I'm not paying attention to the fingers right now. I have to work on that. But that can be later. Right now, just focusing all my attention on so yeah. So there's a settle. There's a settle. So yep. So I think we have our major poses right now. So you can go back and start looking for in between, more in between poses. We always want to have. So this should be an anticipation pose. So it's going from here to this. So right now bring the shoulder down. So this is an anticipation pose. Anticipation is supposed to prepare you for the next key. So So it goes from this. Boom. So next we're going to start adding. So since we have our key poses right now, I think I just want to add one more. So here, touches. So I like to do something like so to prepare him for the landing. I can come 2 frames before that. Then that's the squash here. Right, so select key, just copy this to this, go here. The way I like to use the shortcut is, you can still do this copy and paste, but I like to use the shortcut. Just drag. When you place your cursor there, you middle mouse on this, and then you press S. So it's going to key that particular pose. So this can be my squash for the landing. So I'm trying so hard not to break the rig. So I have this head. Somehow, well, you're supposed to be looking at the floor since it's landing. I have this exaggerated. I'll bring him back a little. The legs are just trying to hit the floor. Let's see. So this would be the squash. I want to have him this way, not the other way around. I'm just going to bring him closer to the floor. So I do not have a floor, so I'm just going to create a floor so I can know when it's hitting the ground. It's already, so I'll put that here, and see, it's already going through the ground. So I think it's, so I want to bring him up. I'll select this, and the waist. So go back to global to move everything on the floor. Next frame on the floor, on the floor. If I want to be consistent, I'll just look at this particular um, I'll look here. What am I having? Should it be? I can still go to my front view to check accurately that it's standing on the floor. I think that works. So what's that? One, I'll copy this and then paste it across other frames. Right. Paste it across. Uh, that's not working. So I have to manually do that. It doesn't have to be perfect. Should have done this before I start animating. Okay. Right, so go back to my perspective. Please keep saving your work as you're watching. So, mm, so that's little squash. Nope, that's not what I want. So, so this isn't working this way. So I'll flatten these legs back on the X axis. So, okay. Let's see what this. So I'm just going across to see what I can improve on. Well, that's the control I'm looking for. Mm. that should work. Alright, so I want to make sure I have all of my key poses. So with that, I can start. I can move from step to spline. So I'll go back to my setup with all of my um, all of my controls selected. I'll go to animation and I'll switch back to auto span and save. And then I'll come to my graph here, select everything, and then switch to auto tangents. So this is spline. So we've moved from layout to blocking, and now we are working with spline. So in spline, all we'll be doing is basically applying principles to it. The arc, if there are spaces where we can add more poses to make our animation not float. So right now you can see with the blocking we have we can see some level of weight when the character is landing because of the poses we have, right? But still, you see the character going through the objects. There is no smooth arc to the jumping. It's just poop poop. And then some other things can be improved on. See the way the hands are going from this to this. That is wrong. So these are what we'll be doing in the spline phase. We'll be correcting all of this, and when we are done we should have a good animation, and then next we start polishing the animation to give it more life. Right, so starting from frame 1, so you don't want to overwhelm yourself. Just please take it slowly. For me, I'll be looking at the waist for now and then correcting everything along the line. So here, so we have the hands this way, coming this way and not the other way around. But for this particular one, the hands are going over the head, so I'll correct that. Right, so here the hands are still the hands are still his hands are still here, right? But for my particular animation, I have the hands already going. So this is what you don't want. You don't want Maya doing things for you. So there's what we call moving hold. So I'll be holding some poses, and then so we don't have them floating, because right now most of them are floating. Most of the everything is floating. So you want to hold poses together so you don't have them floating, and then you want to exaggerate on some poses and correct some other poses. Right, so this is what spline is. So here I'll bring back the hands. So bring it back, so we have then make some few corrections. So please make sure that your key poses, you keyed all of your poses before going into this particular phase of adding more animation. So here, bring down the exaggerate on the shoulder. We are having charging up. building up. Boom. And even have this doing this. Don't be afraid to try things out. Here, I'll start focusing on the fingers. So I want to have him make a fist. I don't know if this rig is going to allow us to do that. I think the stretch side to side let's try this maybe. No? No. So select that and you should get this blend shape. So this is the blend shape and it's going to allow us to do certain things. So last joint, rotates, middle, rotates. Mm. So make a fist. Try to break symmetry everywhere. Don't want anything looking straight. Right, so last joint, rotate. I want to do the same here. I'm pressing S to key. Fist. Last joint and middle joint. The rig is not perfect, so don't worry about that. Just make a fist. So what I'll do is I'll copy these poses to here. So to here, I'm going to copy this to this to this. So having making a fist to here and delete this. And also copy this here. So I'm also still going to correct this. The hands are not supposed to go up. They're supposed to go under. So bring this back. 125. Pay attention to your silhouettes. The same goes for this. Want to do the same just make a face G, the last and the first. So the way I do this is pick, shift, pick, and then middle mouse go to drag, middle mouse drag, and to give you this, or you can just insert um, the values here. So when we have that face, so I can copy across also, paste, paste, uh, paste. For now, let's just leave that and let's see what we have. So we don't have the hands going be at this back anymore. Let's see. I also want to break this. We want to have him having a perfect straight hand. We always want to break. So this way. This. So just trying to break. Alright, so you can copy that pose. You don't have to do poses. Pose you need. You don't have to do it multiple times. You can just copy it over. So here, timing. Also, I want to have fluidity, so make these hands move around here. So right now I'm not paying so much attention on my reference anymore. I'm just paying attention on my animation, right, and body mechanics. So we want to have it make a fist here. So I'm going to bring this back a little. So this is what we'll have right now. So this frame, So this leg should still be on the floor. Well, I can do this. Do this. Basically, that should work. Nope, it's not working. That didn't work. Uh, See here, the leg is supposed to be here. It's not supposed to be behind, so drag this, paste it here. So this should zero this out. So have him go like this. Boom. I want him to push. I want him to push. So I want to have this quick push. So this is retiming now. Retiming. Trying to retime the waist. So I get this quick push. So I'm just bringing frames back. Mm. Alright, so this is what I don't want to have happening. So this should be flying. Let's see. Try to put an overlap. This should not be here. It's on the floor and it leaves the air immediately. So let's cue whatever rotation I have then. Overlap. follow through should be coming from here. So mm, copy this here. No, delete this. So we don't want to have this legs here. So just looking at the arc, I want to have like a C curve, boom, boom. So you need to pay attention to the arc the leg is making. Here, what is the leg doing? Should be trying to hit the ground, clear the rotation. So, so there is this also. I want to take that out. Nope. So, there's a lot to be done, but right now I'll start paying attention to the arc. I'll click on the waist. How do I know if it's in a straight arc? Right, so arcs are really important in animation because it's going to keep your animation very appealing and interesting. So I'll click I'll click on that particular object, that particular curve I want to see its arc. I'll go to visualize, um, create editable motion trail. So if I click on that, I should have this particular curve. So is the this is the curve for the movement of the waist. And now if I do this, I can I can pay attention to that arc and see that I have an interesting arc. Right, so that would permit me to do this. Yeah, I can I can just keep looking at the arc for me to have that perfect curve. So well, it's not really perfect, but it's so there's something here. So right here I can correct that curve. So this is what we have. There are just a few places you want to check if you have a good curve, and the waist is one of it. And then next you want to check the hands, you want to track the so once you are done with that, just click on that. You should see it here and hit the delete key. Please keep saving your work. So I usually save my work in versions. I have version 1, I'll go to version 2 so I don't lose my work. Very important. So this is what I have currently. I can still improve on it. I have to improve on it, but right now the video is taking so long and I wouldn't want us to get bored while watching the video. So if we can have this, I think we are good for now. You can start paying attention to the polishing. So this is spline. We've done layout, blocking, and this is spline. So the next is polish, and polishing is basically going through your animation until checking for little details, applying details. There are still a lot to do to the hands. Right now I have it just doing nothing basically, so I can have that, you can figure that out later in the polish. So I'll just copy this to this. So I'll pay attention to the hands later. So copy this to this. So this is what we have right now. So the last thing I want to do is, if I say send your work, you're supposed to play blast. So play blasting is going to render the viewport, not the, you're going to render the viewport. So you can just go to right click on your timeline, play blast, and then click on this box. Right now it's, the settings are wrong, so I want to click on format, QuickTime, click on H264, custom 1080 1920 by 1080. You bring the scaling to 1, frame padding for save to file, and then you browse um where you want it to render to. So with this you can just click on save settings, and with this particular camera setup clicked on, you can click on play blast, and it's going to read into a movie file. And you should have it playing as a movie, and you should have it playing as a movie right now. So you see, this is VLC, then it's playing as a movie, right? And where you find your file is go to your file, go to your project window, go to movies, and this is it. This is your animation. So with this done, you are good to go. We can start polishing the animation, and also doing other things like work cycle, um, and maybe run cycle if you have time. All right, thank you, and happy animating.